Hey, what is up guys? I'd like to welcome you back to the channel for another video. You already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. I put up a poll on Friday asking you guys what my next video should be, and you guys did not disappoint with the amount of votes and ideas you guys put down in the comments of that community post. You guys chose, what are my top 5 favorite ships in the verse? Before we get started, I must put out a small disclaimer. These 5 ships are personally my favorite ships that I've been flying from years past to the current day here in 2025. This list can change in the future as more ships become flyable in the near future. Also, none of these ships are going to be in any particular order as I list them out. These are just the ships that I enjoy flying currently in the game. But with the disclaimers to the side, we can now get the show on the road. Let's begin with my first ship on my list, and this one may surprise some of you guys, but I absolutely love the RSI Zeuses. I like the CL and the ES, and I cannot wait for the other variant to come out whenever it decides to drop. Hopefully the MR drops during the Invictus Fleet Week this year, but we may never know. Now, the reason why the Zeus is in my top 5 is because of how much I actually fly this thing. If I'm traveling anywhere from place to place, like for example, if I want to go from Stanton to Pyro, this is the ship that I will fly over to that system just because I can get over there without any issues. I can get there quick and fast and not have to worry about my fuel tanks either, just because the ES boasts a larger than normal fuel tank for a ship of this size. The Zeus is pretty much my point A, point B ship. I use it for flying around everywhere. And something else that I absolutely love about this ship is how many access points this thing has. You have access from the rear hatch, you have a middle section, and then you also have an airlock up front, so you're able to enter and exit the ship real quick and easily without nothing stopping you or getting in your way. Personally, I'm actually surprised how much I actually fly this thing. I fly it almost every single time I hop onto the game, and I just use it regularly, and I just enjoy it the way how it flies. It also looks really cool as well. I mean, people call the Polaris their murder Dorito. Well, the Zeus is like the cool ranch Dorito. It's just a cool little ship, and I do enjoy it very much. But let's move on to the next vessel on the list. The Anvil Valkyrie is actually very special to me, mainly because I received this ship as a gift from my wife, and I have not looked back ever since I got it. I have a Best in Show Valkyrie from 2019-2020. This thing is amazing. When I first got it, I didn't really know what to expect of it, but all I did know is that it was cool as hell and I love to fly it. Today, 5 years later, I still enjoy flying this bird, mainly because I utilize it in so many different ways and fashions. If I want to go do some missions or whatnot, I almost always throw the necessary items in the back and go do what I gotta go do. I will bring all of my refreshments, replenishments, and things like that and throw them where the drop seats are, and I will also usually, almost 100% of the time, will throw a NERSA in the back just because there is space for that, and if I really want to be a little coy with it as well too, I will also throw a Mirai Pulse on the side of that as well, just in case I want to go out there and do some hostile bunkers or anything like that in that fashion. In my opinion, it is one of the best ships in the game, especially with the much needed love that it has received recently in the past month. The Valkyrie is truly one of my most favored ships in the game just because of how much I actually use it. During the whole Align and Mine event, this is one of the ships I flew majority of the time when I was doing the missions because, I could throw an Ursa in the back and, the upgraded cargo space, the Slave's wing weapons, and also just how beefy and tanky this thing is. It can take quite a few shots before it goes down, so it'll give you time to be able to land and hop out of your ship before someone blows it up. It's just an amazing ship, and I can't stop gushing over it, and I can't wait to see what CIG does for the ship in the future. But now let's carry on to the very next ship on the list. The Esperia Prowler. This is one of my favorite ships in the game. It is awesome looking, literally one of the coolest birds in the game. This is a Tavarian drop ship that's whole entire game mechanic is supposed to be centered around stealth. This thing's signature can get almost as low as an Aegis Eclipse running on stock Eternals, and for a ship of this size, That could be a huge difference in being seen and unseen depending what you're doing. When I was using this ship recently, I was flying it a lot during the whole entire Align of Mine event because me and my friends were playing and they wanted to get out of the hot zone quick without being seen because they had a backpack full of loot. So they were like, hey, does anyone in the org have a Prowler? I rose my hand up and said, yes sir, I got one. What y'all need? They said, we need evac right now. So we had some times where I was able to evac my homies out of the Align and Mine events, away from the dishes or the OLPs, just so they can keep their loot without being seen, because there's a lot of players around who are blasting anyone on site. The Prowler made it very easy for me to get in and out with the homies with no issues whatsoever. We had a blast. I have a blast. Also, I do enjoy flying this bird because it flies very well, pitches and yaws very good, and you just don't see anyone ever flying this thing. So in my opinion, I feel like I'm flexing a little bit when I'm flying this bird with the Harmony paint job attached to it. Take my recommendation and give this bird a try whenever you're actually able to go and find one in the verse. Or if you have the credits, go to Area 18 and go to Center Mass and see if you can be able to buy one there and test it out yourself. It's a little expensive in game, but in my opinion, it is 100% worth it just because of how cool it is. I cannot wait for them to actually make all the proper components of the ship actually viable, you know, its actual stealth components, making its VTOL system, its hovering system, actually function the way it's supposed to with its whole entire wing system, and also its co-pilot seat and pilot seat being functional the way it's supposed to as well. Once this ship is fully complete, done and said, it's going to be a hard ship to battle or even see in the verse just because of what it offers. Again, the Prowler is amazing and I love it. But now let's carry on to the turtle of the verse. When it comes to the Medipen, I do not have a lot to say about this turtle, except that I have a really nice situationship with this bird. This thing, it's useful, it's extremely useful. Depending on what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be running exec hangars or if I'm doing anything somewhere that requires a lot of travel that I know is going to be a hostile environment, I will bring this thing. Turn the shields up to maximum and let people just pelt me because it's not going to go down that easy. Its health pool is ridiculous. This is a very utilitarian ship for me. If I'm going to be in the Pyro system, I'm going to be running missions out there, roid missions or outpost missions and stuff like that, I make sure I have this ship on hand just because I hate dying and then having to travel all the way across the system, and especially in Pyro with those long travel times, it sucks. So I have this ship on hand, which will help me stay alive longer and always keep me in the fight. This is why I absolutely love it, just because of what it is. At first when I saw it, I was like, well, what's the point of buying this if I have the Pisces Rescue? Well, after I flew it and used it, I was like, I gotta pick it up. So that's exactly what I did. And I enjoy flying it. It's a little awkward. It has wee-woos and, you know, it's just a cool little ship just to use whenever you're out there in a pinch. I know during the Align of Mine, I was using it whenever I went to the OLPs just because that was a hot zone for FPS combat. And if I knew if I was gonna die, I could easily respawn and get right back into the fight just so I had no issues. Even if other players were flying around or NPCs, they would start blasting the ship and I would come back out and it's still there. Hurt a little bit, but it was still standing on all four legs, ready for me to take off after I collect all the loot or key cards that I need in order to fire the laser. I had to throw at least one fighter onto this list, but it was not an easy decision because I fly a lot of them. It was a real hard decision between the F7A and the Gladys, just because those are my favorite fighting ships. I do like the S7A just because of the way how it handles and the amount of firepower that you get with this bird. This thing is a beast, considered one of the best fighters in the game. Hopefully they don't nerf it to the ground like they did the F8C. This thing can run laps around a lot of other ships, including an F8C, as long as you are a talented pilot. You can also equip it with a lot of firepower, and that is one reason why I like it. It flies very well and it packs a serious punch. Not many ships can actually go toe to toe with this thing, but a well-seasoned pilot will take anything down with an arrow. But I do enjoy this ship. It looks really cool, it flies very well, and it's just an overall cool ship. I do like how you can put the Heartseeker paint job onto it and a bunch of other paint jobs, and I do like it. It's, again, my favorite fighter. Right below it will be the Gladys, just because I wanted to throw it onto this list, but I didn't, just because, you know, it's supposed to be my 5 ships. This is a cool bird and I do enjoy it. Throw on some MB30s on here and it is a beast. I do enjoy it and I can't wait to see what CIG does with it. Again, like I said, cross my fingers that they don't ever nerf it to the ground. I feel like it's sitting at a really good spot. Not a whole lot could be done to this thing to make it better or worsen it. I feel like majority of the player base who actually flies this bird will agree that this thing is, you know, it's there. It also looks really cool. The paint schemes for this ship is just really cool and it's just overall appealing. This is why it's on this list over the Gladius, just because I like it so much more. And you know, I use it for a majority of all my combat stuff when I want to do direct ship-to-ship combat. Now, let's go over some honorable mentions that were close to making the cut, but just fell a little short. Let's start off with the Cutlass Black, you know, the Cutty. This thing is amazing. I don't care what anyone says, this is hands down the best starter ship in the game just because of how versatile it is. I do love the Cutlass series, but mainly the Black. The Black has always held it down for me and I used to fly it regularly. I do pop into it every once in a while depending if I have a ship on hand that I want to pull out real quickly or depending on what I want to do, a situational ship type of thing. The next one is going to be the Origin 400i. Now, if any of you guys know me back on my TikTok days, this was my go-to bird. I flew it literally everywhere. It was my daily ship. I would load up a Cyclone in there with the 1 SCU crate. I would throw a hover bike in the nose and I would go everywhere and do everything and anything with it. I would have some homies on the guns and we would just go run missions all day because it was, you know, the nicest cruiser I had. I absolutely love it. I still pop into it every once in a while and it hasn't let me down. The next ship is going to be, of course, the Gladius. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this ship. You throw on some MB30s on this thing and it's a complete beast. It handles amazingly in and out of atmosphere. It flies very well. And it's also a little utilitarian with this built-in storage and gun rack. I cannot tell anyone enough how this ship is amazing, how it's, you know, gold standard, soon platinum standard, what do you want to call it. This thing has got more love than any other ship in the game, as it is the main testing ship for all the features that happens to hit the verse when it comes to avionics and stuff. I still enjoy watching the little the flaps and rudders of the ship move now, and I can't wait to see that be implemented to other ships in the verse. And then last but not least will have to be the Star Lancer Max. I do absolutely love this ship, but I have seen myself not flying it as much. Ever since Supply or Die has ended, I haven't touched the ship, not even once. It's a cool bird, but I do not like how slow it is. This thing has huge engines on the back, but it flies extremely slow, and that's my only gripe with the ship. Probably why I don't fly it as much, but when it comes to dealing with anything that's cargo related, this is one of the biggest whales, birds, penguins, seals, whatever you want to call it, that I will take out into the verse. It's appealing in every way. I know a lot of people don't like the way how the interior is. Everyone says that the space is not utilized properly, but in my opinion, I feel like it is in a comfortable sense. This is for someone who's just being a casual, who just wants to fly around with the homies, decorate the internals of the ship, and have an overall good time. I do love this ship. I can't wait to see how the tack is going to be. It's not a ship I'm going to purchase, but I feel like someone out there is going to like it, especially someone with a crew. And boom, that is pretty much it. That is my top 5 ships in the verse currently. The list can always change in the future, and I cannot wait to see what ships will come out in the future. Who knows? Maybe the Ironclad will take the lead. It might be a heavy hitter, or maybe it's the Paladin. We do not know yet because they're not out and I don't know, but I cannot wait to see what happens when they officially drop into the live build of the game. But let me tell you what, I have too many ships and it's really hard to choose between which one is which, because I don't just fly just the 5, I fly majority of the ships in my fleet. So it's a little tough here and there to pick. Like, I love the Caterpillar and a bunch of other ships here and there and stuff like that. And again, it's hard to choose, but I do enjoy flying them and playing with them and stuff like that, just because each one offers its own separate experience depending on what type of gameplay role you want to do. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. Please slap that like button because it really does push me up in the algorithm so more eyes are able to see me. I'd also like to take a second to thank all the people who support me, all of my supers, all of my members and stuff. You guys help make this happen, and I cannot wait to continue making great content for you guys that support me. But you guys already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, owning the block, FC, aka Fried Chicken. Big Bird out.